All right, well, President Trump's push to get violent illegal gang members out of the country facing new roadblocks in court.
A DEA agent who's tracked Trinidad for decades has a warning. Next.
A federal judge is promising to get to the bottom of whether the Trump administration defied his order blocking deportation flights of violent Venezuelan gang members, saying in part, the policy ramifications of this are incredibly troublesome and problematic and concerning. The government is not being, and I'm concerned, the government is not being terribly cooperative at this point. Here's Trump's response.
They're tough people. They're bad people. We don't want them in our country. We can't let a judge say that he wants them. You know, he didn't run for president. He didn't get much more than 80 million votes. And we just can't let that happen. It'd be so bad for our country. I won on the basis of getting criminals out of our country.
Former DEA official who has been following Tren de Aragua for years is Wesley Tabor, and he joins us now. Wesley, what can you tell us about how our government is verifying whether someone is actually from Tren de Aragua or not before they send them to this very notorious prison in El Salvador?
Thanks for having me today. So when you're dealing with these gangs, one of the most important things you have to do is understand their environment and who they're dealing with. Who are they associating with? And that's what these law enforcement officers are doing out there on the street. Some gangs like the Mara Salvatrucha, the MS-13, which are obviously very, very famous, infamous in the United States. They have a lot of gangs. It's very easy to identify them. Tren de Aragua does not have that. However, some of them do have tattoos, but you have to take the totality of everything that you're looking at with a gang. Are they doing wire intercepts? Do they have undercovers? Do they have cooperating informants that are helping out identifying who these individuals are? When you take that totality of multiple data points, that's how you're going to actually come to the conclusion that they're TDA gang members.
Okay, so one of the things that we've had a guest on many times, his name is Joseph Humar. He talks about weaponized migration, and he says that Tren de Aragua has been used to destabilize countries in Latin America for a long time, and that once the border opened, they came up here. What can you tell us about the actual role of Nicolás Maduro, the dictator in Venezuela, and Tren de Aragua? Because if you can establish that link definitively, you can say this is clearly an intrusion and meant to destabilize us, in which case it would be a national security issue.
Listen, you're looking at a country that has nothing good to give or say about the United States of America. They're locking up our business people. They're taking away the rights of those individuals in that country. And I'm the first one to tell you, I lived there between 2010 and 2013. They are not afraid to make threats on U.S. agents and officers and diplomats overseas. I'm sorry to say, but that happened to me over there. So when you're dealing with the fact that you have these gangs that are being found out in different cities throughout the country, especially when we have little hints. When you look at the designation of the foreign terrorist organization and some of the comments coming out of Pam Bondi, and she's phenomenal. She knows exactly what she's doing. There are little hints in there about the projection of these gangs in conjunction with the foreign government of Venezuela. And listen, the storied history they have, it's no surprise that they would be using them. And I use the term almost like a varied proxy, because we know that Venezuela has had a lot of relationships with different proxies from Iran, such as Hezbollah, Syria, and other rogue Middle Eastern countries. And this is nothing new. So when you look at Tren de Aragua and it flooded into the United States of America, this is what we get because we had a weak border and we had a weak president that allowed it to happen.
Yeah. You think Donald Trump's doing the right thing, right?
Listen, it's a new sheriff in town, right? And he's going to do what needs to be done to protect the citizenry of our United States of America. And I bless him for it. I mean, we are fortunate that we have a man that's going to stand up and do what he needs to do. Because listen, no matter what he does, he's going to be criticized. No matter what he does, he's going to be challenged in court. So enacting all of these things that he's done in order to get these people out of the country swiftly is critical, because we have people dying. We have people being extorted. We have people being raped. We have a variety of crimes that are occurring, and we need to terminate this ASAP, or it's going to get embedded in our country, just like the Amara Salvatrucha was starting back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. West Tabor, you have a great perspective, having been there and dealt with this on a first-hand basis. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
You got it. Former